Hello and welcome back to The Broken Doll. Well, tonight I come to you with the Little Ricky doll, the experiment, one more time. And where am I at and what are my feelings about what I've done? Well, I went back onto the Doe Deer Wonderland. The gentleman who fixes up the Barbies. Now what he said was 2 weeks is what he soaked the Barbie's arm in these Polydent. And it was, to get the green out of the ear, it was a month with some TLC stuff that he used. So the thing is that, or I forget what it was some other type of stuff that he was using to get the green out of the ears. And that was a month he did that for. But regardless, it's different vinyl, but it's still that 1950-ish vinyl all the same. It's just more of a solid vinyl, which is what the fingers are on Little Ricky. They're solid vinyl. It's hollow all the way down inside, but when you get to those fingers are solid. So you're still looking at the same, roughly the same type of material, that very hard material. Where's an arm so I can show you that? Yeah, what I'm talking about right here. Here's an arm. So what my conclusions are with this is that, yeah, it did lighten up the arm. It did do some of the job, but these are all solid. These are not like hollow inside. They're solid fingers, where this is hollow. All the way up it's hollow. But you get down to these little fingers, this is just like a Barbie doll arm. And it didn't work on this vinyl here. Now, it's a little bit older vinyl than the Barbie. The Barbie came out in 1959 into the 60s. This is a 1950 doll. So it could be just a different chemicals in the vinyl. I don't know. But I am going to try getting the peroxide for hair coloring to take the color. I don't know. I'm not into hair. So I'm going to look into it, what he used, because he does talk about it in one of his videos. And I'm going to buy the stuff up later, and I'm going to do it on this doll and see if we can lighten it up that way. Now, in the meantime, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to soak, this is the body and the head in here right now. I'm going to let it soak for 2 weeks. I'm just going to keep adding the tablets in there. That's all I'm going to keep doing. I bought a brand new box of tablets, and I'm just going to keep putting the Polydent in there. It's just tap water. I just use cold tap water. Just put on the cold water, and that's what it says to do. How it activates when you put your dentures into a cup is cold water. So the same thing for this, to make it activate. That's what I did. Now, one thing, what did I find out about Little Ricky? Well, I went to take out his eyes, and one of his eyes was already cut open at the back. I didn't do it. It was by somebody else. And it had glue all over it. Here it is right here, and it's got glue all over it. And the other one I had to cut myself to get out. I figure if one was cut, the other one was. Now, I know there is a hot water treatment where you can push the eyes out through the front of the head. I don't like using that method because I'm afraid I'm going to rip open like the vinyl, because this vinyl is very old. So maybe on, like, they do it a lot when it comes to the newer dolls today. Like, I've seen them do it with American Girl dolls. So if that's the case, they're using it on brand new vinyl. This vinyl is older, and it's delicate in its own way now. So I don't want to take the chance of that. If I can just split the back of the eyes open, I can glue them up later. I have no problem with that. So I've done that many times. I've opened up the back of the eyes, put them back in again, close it up. So, but to each their own what they want to do. But when I popped the head off and that's what I saw, I thought, well, I'm just going to do the same with the other one. So there you go. But I'm going to let this go for 2 weeks. Just let it see how it does for 2 weeks. If this lightens up, then I'll stick the arms and the legs in this as well together, and I'll do it as well. But if I don't see, let's just put it this way, if I get the same results of what I've been getting already, then it's lightening it, but that's about it. And it can't take out those really hard stains. Somebody was talking to me about the stains, Giselle Parent, I'm not going to mess up your name. But anyways, Giselle, yeah, you were talking about it's just a lot of oils off the hands. This stuff is not just that. This is old vinyl, very porous. And what happened back in the day, and I can remember my mother, every spring, she'd be up on her ladder, wiping the ceiling and the walls down, because the old gas furnace would leave a yellow film. And that yellow film would travel through the whole house. and she'd be wiping all the walls down, cleaning all the curtains, because back then the furnaces were great furnaces. They heated up the house wonderfully, but they left a yellow film. And it's just because of the way the furnaces were made back then. Today we don't get as much of that because we got better filters and everything else. The furnaces are a lot better today. Improvements all the way through the years. But back then in the 50s, 60s, these gas furnaces were tough on vinyls. And another thing that did it also was cigarettes. Everybody, now I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of people smoked in the 50s and the 60s. So what you got is old nicotine in these dolls just as well. And this old vinyl absorbed what was ever in the air. If it was the gas from the furnace, or if it was the cigarettes in the air, you take the combination of this and this old porous, well, at the time it was newer vinyl, it's just sucked it in. And yes, play dirt as well, oils off our hands, yes. All that does a wonderful trick on this old vinyl. So you take those combinations and put it together, and on this old vinyl, this is what you're going to get, is this stuff here. The trick is trying to get it back out, and that is a hard one to do, and it's difficult, and it's about just letting it sit, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to let it sit for 2 weeks, and if I get really great results from this, then hey, I'll do it with the arms and the legs as well. Just let them sit for 2 weeks and just keep putting the pellets in, the little tablets in, until they become white again. It's what happens when they become exposed to the air. Once it dries, you start seeing the true self of the doll again. Even sealing it didn't work. And these are solid fingers. Now, if they were hollow all the way down, that's different. I stuck a thing down there with a pin on it, and I couldn't go any further when I got to the fingers. It was done. Like, I couldn't get through. So they're not, and I can't even, like when I squish them, I can't push plastic, like vinyl together. There's nothing in there. They're just solid. But this you can hear it, you know, rip to the hand, and then all of a sudden you get to the fingers. There's nothing. So, yeah, they're little hard nubbits there. So, that's where we're at with this. I am enjoying it, though. This has been a great experiment to try. I hope I'm enlightening some of you. Maybe you might have a doll that's not as deeply stained as mine. It might do better. Even if it's from the same time period. And I've heard some of you have told me that you've got dolls like this, and so you're watching what I'm doing. And but I did get great results on the arms. The arms turned out really great. Like, there's still some staining right in this area, but it's livable. It's a lot more livable than what it was in the beginning. The legs aren't too bad. Let's look at a leg here. The leg isn't horrible. Like, it's a lot better than what it was, but there's still this darkness right in here, across the toes and everything. See, all in here, this here, that's there. It was there before. But I'm just going along with it right now, and just going to look at the body and the head, and I'm just, like I said, every day I'm going to drop in 8 tablets. Every night I'm going to come out here and 8 tablets. 8 tablets for 2 weeks. This is night 1. So 14 nights, and then we'll look at it. I'm not going to pull it out. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to touch it at all. Just drop in for 2 weeks, 8 tablets. Let's see how I do. Okay, let's go to one other thing I want to show you here. I got this off of Amazon. This here, now some of you might know about these. This is a like a little board, but it's made out of felt. And it's for pressing your clothes with. Now, I got little ironing boards here that work just wonderful. But this here, it's a portable pressing pad, ideal for quilters, sewists, and crafters. Unique Pro Press connectors allows the mats to be linked to customize the size and shape of your pressing space. 100% New Zealand wool. Now, I don't want any more than this. I can't see me wanting any more. I just want one to do little clothes on. Now, I know you can take a towel. It works the same. But I just like the look of it. I think that's what impressed me. When I saw somebody using it, I was watching one late night. It was a late night. I was watching somebody make something, and I can't remember what it was, but she was impressing me with what she was making. And all of a sudden, she says, I'm going to press it on my ironing mat. And she took this mat, and it was this right here. And she had a link to it, and I thought, I'm getting one. So I treated myself to this right here, this mat. And we'll see how it works out when it comes time for pressing something. I think it looks a lot neater than, and easier to store than a towel all the time. So my towels fall back behind. They get dirty because they fall back behind. So I'm going to I'm not going to open this up right now until I get the proper storage container for it. I want to buy something to help keep it covered. And even if I have to take 2 big lock bags, put one this way, one the other way. Just something to keep it covered so it doesn't get dirty. And I got a place to put it, so yeah, I thought I'd show that to you. If you're looking at something, you know, you're into restorations as well, and you need to do some pressing with your iron. So there we go. My daughter and I have been talking about doing our, making up our bags soon. We're getting things put together, so stay tuned. That is coming. We're going to try to also do our haunted house. It's just a box, one of those box ones that you put together. You know, that's all this is. You know, you put the chocolate bars together. But hey, we'll film it for you and show you some fun. But anyways, I hope you enjoy what you're seeing here. I want to get back to the F&B babies over here. Their little heads are sitting there, and they want to get back on their body. So I don't blame them. So anyways, that's my next thing, is just to concentrate on them right now and just let this sit for 2 weeks. One thing I've got a lot of is time. I'm a very impatient woman. I want it done now, 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 now. That's the type of woman I am. But I can't be like that. This is something that's going to take time. I might just stick a leg in there, put the legs back in. If it's going to go for 2 weeks, why not let the legs try it as well? It might just work. I got room in there. I can put the legs in there. Actually, let's just do it right now while we're talking about it. Let's see if we can get a leg in there. There we go. I gotta get that down there. Okay. And I got another one. I'm gonna have to just move you for a second while I reach over. There we go. Can I get the other leg over here? There we go. Okay. We got them in there. Let's just let the legs sit in there also for 2 weeks. And yeah, they're covered. They're totally covered. I'll make sure the water's always covering them. And we're not going to do a thing to them. And we'll come back in 14 days. 14 nights. That's what we're going to call it. The 14-night experiment. So that's what this is going to be called. The title. I just came up with the title of my this video. It's called the 14-day experiment. And we're not going to touch this for 2 weeks. So this is exciting. And we're not going to look, I'll put the video on it, but we're not going to lift it out. Nothing. We're just going to let it soak. So, okay, everybody. Stay tuned. 13 more nights to go. Okay. And I'm going to be very, very patient about this. All right. Thanks for joining me. And to my new subscribers, stay here and hit the subscribe button and the like button, and leave me a comment. I do read them. I sit down and read my comments 2 or 3 times in the day. I sit down to see what you gals and guys are saying to me here. So, and if you leave it in another language, I just sit there and I have fun translating it. I do. I had somebody write me in German, and I was enjoying it. So my German people put it in German. I learned, or I think it was German, and I think there was Spanish I was looking at Spanish. So, hey, I don't mind. I'll translate it. I'll figure, and I don't want to use my translator. I try doing it on my own. You know, looking up words and everything. I find that a lot more appealing to me. So it's fun. So I love languages and learning other languages. So anyways, have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.